Well, welcome to day 17 of the Seeing Jesus Challenge. Today's reading had to do with Peter and how Peter, in a short span of time, denied knowing Jesus 3 times, each time getting a little more worked up and a little more agitated at the question. And all that was just like Jesus told him it was going to be. And when the rooster crows, he remembers Jesus' words and he's shattered by the reality of what he's done. But that's not really what I want to focus on for just a moment. I want to focus on this question. Why are we okay with Peter, but we're not okay with Judas? I mean, think about it. I know lots of people who name their children Peter. I don't know anybody who names their children Judas. And we're okay with Peter, but we're not okay with Judas. And we consider Judas to be a betrayer and far worse than Peter. But in reality, there's not that much difference. I mean, think about it. Judas, yes, he sells Jesus out, but all he really does is bring the mob to where Jesus is in an isolated setting. If the religious leaders had wanted to, they could have just been patient and waited, and eventually they could have caught Jesus by himself and isolated with just the disciples. They were just impatient and willing to pay to have somebody provide that opportunity for them. Peter, on the other hand, just flat out denies knowing Jesus and being his follower, and does it vehemently and more agitatedly each time he's asked. And so which is worse? And I don't know if you can qualify each one or the other as worse. But so why is it that we're okay with Peter and not okay with Judas? And I think the answer is because we want happy endings. Because we want things to work out. And we know that Peter was able to turn it around. Peter remembered that Jesus could forgive him, and he stuck with it. And Jesus did come and forgive him and restore him and put him back on the road to usefulness. Whereas Judas, on the other hand, forgot. He forgot that Jesus could forgive him. He forgot that Jesus could still love him. And in his despair, not knowing what else to do, he hung himself. And so we like happy endings, so we're okay with Peter, but we're not okay with Judas. I'm not saying we should be okay with either one of them, but we shouldn't be so quick to throw Judas under the bus and just eliminate him from all conversation and act like he wasn't a disciple and he didn't love Jesus. He did. All the other disciples thought he was a genuine disciple, thought he was the real thing, and I think he probably was. He acted out in ways that were inappropriate, and then he forgot that Jesus could forgive him for that. And you know, the reality is that I know Christians, and I know in my own life that I've been guilty of both those things. There have been times when I maybe passively had denied knowing Jesus and wasn't as vocal in my witness as I needed to be, and was kind of passive about it because I didn't want a lot of people to know about my faith and my relationship with Jesus maybe in that moment in time. And there have been times when I was willing to, throw Jesus under the bus and sell him out, if you will, in order to gain what I wanted to gain and to experience what I want to experience and to try to control God in my life instead of letting God control me. We need to understand that there's a little bit of Peter and there's a little bit of Judas in all of us. But what we need to do more than anything else is remember this: whatever we do, whatever mistakes we make, let's remember that Jesus loves us and he can forgive us. All we have to do is ask. Remember today, you may make a mistake. God still loves you. God can forgive you. Now go have a great day.